Today we're going to be remaking Among Us, and we're basically going to be trying to trick people into thinking it's the real game. I already technically did this with Minecraft, and it worked out quite nicely, except for the fact that my rip-off version of it was stolen by a website, which then proceeded to sell it to people without giving me any of the money, which of course I ended up having to actually get copyrighted by Microsoft for, but regardless of that, we're going to do it again. Among Us is obviously a quite popular game, which is based off of a strategy of finding an imposter, of someone who doesn't belong within a group of people, which you're supposed to strategically get out of the group of people by voting them and using evidence against them. So basically almost like every single form of real life politics in one little cartoonish two-dimensional game. Now I think I could actually take this and recreate it and turn it into something even worse, and still get people to believe it's real. So we have a game plan here on how we're going to do this, and the first step is we're going to be heading on to Fiverr. Now on Fiverr, what we're going to do is I'm going to be paying a paid programmer to put together a bunch of key elements for this game, which I'm going to use to recreate the Among Us type style with. I'm going to essentially find someone to organize a group of different game elements like textures, sound effects, animation styles, and all kinds of things like that, and it's all going to be two-dimensional, of course. And I'm going to try to get them to get me the most realistic, most crappy version looking of an Among Us type copy of a game as possible. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of these different things that they're going to give me, all of these different elements or game pieces, so to speak, and I'm going to use the best skills that I have to stitch it all together and form an Among Us looking game. We might actually be able to create an even better version of the game, to be honest with you. Alright, so this scene looks quite familiar. We're back here on Fiverr, and well, the first thing we're going to need to do is search up what we want to find. We're going to actually search up, instead of this time 3D game, we're going to search 2D game design, and we're going to see the best results that we can find here. Now obviously this is Fiverr, the absolute worst bottom of the barrel place you can try to get anything from on the entire internet. You'd quite literally be better off just by going to OnlyFans to try to find someone to give you a favor. Okay, but this right here is looking pretty promising. Now there's not that many reviews, but it doesn't matter because we're not trying to get the best results here, and I'm going to actually be lenient this time. I'm going to give this guy a fair chance. So this basically looks pretty promising to me. I mean, it has a stock picture of some code right there, so nothing could possibly be wrong about that. And by the way, like I said, and the difference between last time and this time is that we're not going to be paying this person just to create us a game. We're going to be paying this person to basically analyze the game of Among Us and then send us a bunch of their recreated versions of the game, like their animations of Among Us, the textures, the sound effects and whatnot, and we're going to try to create this into a full game of ourselves. I might actually put in a little bit too much effort into this time. I mean, last time I basically just slapped a whole bunch of random things together like it was freaking silly putty all over the place. This time, I don't know, I think I'm gonna actually ace this class. Okay, so this guy's name is Bajoy Mohantu.
Hello, Bajoy Mohantu. I am in the need of finding resources for recreating a game similar to that of Among Us. Have you heard of the game called Among Us? This is a game that I want to recreate because I want to make money, and I want people to be tricked into thinking it is the real game. So what I would like you to do is give me a range of price for delivering me recreated parts of Among Us and sending me the code so that I can stitch it all together. If you can do this, that would be great, and I would appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much. Sincerely, me.
We're not actually going to be making money off this game. Of course, it's going to be free this time, and I'm going to make sure of it because last time it wasn't, by not my own free will, by the way. So we're going to go to the most advanced, high-tech 200 IQ website you could possibly go to make an online game, and it's called iogamemaker.com. Okay, so we're going to basically use this website to make the internal framework of the game once this guy sends us the code and all the stuff he's brought back from us. And we are going to host this on this website here. And now we're going to see how all that settles, and I'll get back to you in a couple of days, hopefully, to see how this guy, Bajoy, handles this whole thing.
Okay, so it's been about a couple days, and Bajoy and I have been conversing about all the details of the way I want the game to be, and essentially, he's agreed upon sending me a whole bunch of scripts and textures, sound effects, and animation style things for a grand total of, you guessed it, $250. $169. That's literally the exact price that he wanted me to pay. So I don't know if he's just trolling me or if he's really just that much of a freaking savage. Thank you, Bajoy. You're really a hero.
And the whole thing with the MediaFire download is over 98 megabytes, which is quite a bit of material here that I'm going to have to work with, but I'm going to do my best. Now basically, the way this works is the scripts are all of the things that are used to determine what people are going to be able to see in the game, how objects are going to work in the game. The textures is all of the visual aspects of the game, and the animations, of course, are the movements of the game. And then for the server online part of the game, this website's going to take care of all that for us. Now, of course, I can't just launch up my Unity previewer because this game is completely not put together. It's just a whole bunch of scripts that are put into these little files here. I'm going to have to figure out how to put this all together, and that's where all of the extremely hard work is going to get into happening. I really don't feel like doing this right now, but you know, this actually might turn out to be something pretty juicy. So I'm about an hour and a half in right now, and as you can see, I have my Adobe Previewer open here, and we could see some of the textures that are going to be overlaid here, connected with some of the scripts, and I have absolutely no idea where he got any of this from, and I really do appreciate the effort he put in, if he did indeed do all this himself, because he delivered this within the course of only 3 days. So good job.
Holy crap, this is really, really bad. The code is really well put together, but it's just so bad. Like, the only way I can describe it is like, you know, you can write an essay for class, but, you know, you could use like the most top-notch, pristine Shakespeare-level grammar, but it's literally just talking about how you like furries or something like that. It's good quality, but it sucks.
Okay, I'm gonna stop doing that. No more ASMR for you. Okay, so this is a live editing intervention right here, and basically, this game is way better put together than the last thing I made. Like, seriously, the last time I went on Fiverr and asked for someone to make me a game, they did a relatively horrible job. This is actually quite good. The majority of this work is actually putting together all of the textures into forming a general map layout, as we could see here. He was kind enough to leave us the source material for being able to generate our own maps, which are very simplistic two-dimensional squares. The rest of all of this stuff is just going to be putting together all of these lines of code, which, by the way, this is apparently written in some form of HTML, and that's kind of strange because, well, obviously this can only run on an internet browser. This is not going to be run on some independent platform, which is good because we have to submit this game to this website right here. Okay, so I'm using the same textures for all of the barriers, and the barrier scripts are just going to be acting as the wall in the game. All of the walking areas are just these same squares, so that's pretty much how it's going to have to stay. Now, my favorite part about all this is look at this masterpiece right here. Now, this is 100% the best Among Us ripoff ever. Look at this crap. You can't get any better quality than this. As we can see, we could preview the animations. That's what it's going to look like. They're going to have baseball bats. So, okay, so now we have a general idea of the way this game's going to be set up. So we have a general interface here, which is going to effectively be operated by this current website, and they're going to be hosting the game and making it possible to be played by multiple people at the same time. But the whole thing is going to work by having these little people walk around with baseball bats, and that's going to be the imposters here. It's going to be randomly chosen, and there's not going to be like a whole plethora of tasks like there is in the original game, because that's just too complicated. I don't feel like trying to do that. I'm kind of lazy, to be honest with you. And now all of the overlays, forget these slick animations that you'd see like this. No, we don't need that. We just have Verdana font overlay. So as a quick summary, all the players in this game have a bar underneath them which determines how much of their tasks they've gotten done completely. Every single time a player has a baseball bat, that means that they are the imposter. And depending on what skin you have in the game, which I've actually set up 3 different skins of which have been provided by me, by this guy, due to the textures, you can actually have different tasks, apparently. And I actually don't know how that works, because I didn't actually put that part in the code. That was just already in there. It's been 4 days since we started this, and now it's time to get this all set up online with, what's the name of the website again? Let me see. It's, oh my god, I freaking forgot the name. Dude, I forgot the name of the website I'm supposed to be submitting it to. iogamemaker.com.
Make Games? Learning Center? I think I'm gonna go to Make Games. Oh, okay, it appears that Bajoy Mohantu is asking me to leave a review.
Well, hold your horses. We're gonna find out how good this game does, and then we'll leave a review. Don't worry about it. Make a game in 3 days, not 3 months. Well, I made mine in 4 days, so I guess I can't even do that. Okay, so for this instance, we're gonna be using the blank template since I can actually submit my own development into here. We're gonna make this so fire, it's not even gonna be funny. Like, Among Us in real life is gonna have some competition. Unless somehow Microsoft decides to try to kill me again with copyright, even though Microsoft doesn't even own Among Us as far as I know. But they probably do somehow. They pretty much own everything. New game. Maximum players? What should we put this at? I don't really know. Okay, so now I'm gonna import all the files into here and hopefully just publish it. And then we're just gonna see how it goes online real quick. Also, I should probably just go ahead and then make this thing on Photoshop for the thumbnail and whatnot. Obviously, I'm doing that in a time lapse right now because not really any reason in particular. Just watch it because I said so. So we're going to be calling this game Amongst. It's pretty original, to be honest with you. And I think that means that the full title is going to be Amongst.io, perhaps? I'm not sure if that's how it works. And by the way, the only reason why this was even possible was because this whole website offers a cloud-based script editor, which basically makes it like 10 times faster to make the online game work. In real life, you'd actually have to do something really stupid called work to make it happen. Okay, so it's now day 5, the morning after that I submitted this and published it to this website. And now it's appearing on a whole different website because I searched up the URL after they gave me an email saying that the game was now live. Amongst.io is now available on this website called mod.io for whatever reason. Now it's on there, okay. And it's also its own URL as well, except it's not the same game, which doesn't make any sense. I think the actual URL called Amongst.io is owned by Among Us because it's actually leading me straight to the download page of Among Us. 15 people were playing this game overnight while I was having sweet dreams about making bank off of a fake version of Among Us. Obviously it's free, but there's clearly quite a fair bit of advertisements here. I don't know where all this money would be going to because I'm not definitely getting it, that's for sure. Okay, so now let's actually try to play the game because this is going to be pretty interesting. The final product, as seen on the web edition, is going to be this. So as you can see, the first thing that shows up is kind of like an Agario type layout. I didn't do this. This is all just this website's own preview as well. You remember that old game called Agar.io? That's pretty much, I think, based off of the same structure or the same GUI. I think it was actually made with this same software. I don't know if someone paid someone on Fiverr $269 to make Agar.io, but if they did, well, they're pretty much rich off that by now. Alright, so let's see how my own game works, because I tested this out on the non-online version of the game, and, well, it kind of looks pretty much the same so far. So I'm currently waiting to actually be in a match. Okay, so we're already seeing quite a bit of glitches, but the text box, which by the way, I didn't even make this text box. This was actually just apparently in the already submitted code by the person. So that's kind of cool how it worked out like that. There's apparently a friend tab option where you can add friends. Search users. Okay, there's no users. Alright, so as you can see, the map looks pretty much just like Among Us, except in a horrible one-dimensional universe version of it. There's no sound effects, even though there's supposed to be sound effects in here. I don't really understand what happened. I really do like the way the actual effects turned out with the player moving, because those are the only objects that actually move in the game. The animations, there's only 2 frames in all of the animation bundles for the people playing, for the players themselves. And it actually looks pretty smooth, to be honest with you. So obviously, I think I did a pretty good job. Okay, now the favorite time of the video is reading the reviews. Let's get straight to it.
So, this is the game that everyone is on about now. To be honest, it's not that bad. It's better than a lot of the IO games I've played. But it doesn't look too familiar to the art of the game I've seen. It's a really good game after all. At first, I didn't understand why my friend played it so much, but this is probably a different version or something. It's way better than I thought. The worst thing I've spent my time on in a long time. How on earth is this game so popular? Needs a lot of work with the mainframe function of gameplay. Graphics are choppy, UI is not optimized. I've also seen so many YouTubers play this game, and it appears that it might be looking at an older version of it, so I'll be lenient. I guess they changed the name of the game since this one was out too. They might have fixed this stuff by now, but it's a good start either way. I'll tell you what, this is just sad. Are this person trying to copy the game called Among Us and name it this? This is so bad. I can't even see how to report anyone while in the game. The chat is terrible. Someone needs to report this game to somebody so they can get sued. Because this is against the legal. Bad. No. Just no.
Okay, and that's basically how I recreated Among Us in the course of 5 days, and I think it turned out quite good. Actually, I think it's way better than the original rip-off Minecraft game I made. To be honest with you, I think a whole lot of people still to this very day think that this is the actual real game of Among Us. It's still written on that review website, just straight up Among Us. That's all it's called, just Among Us. So people literally think that this game is where all the hype is coming from. They're probably pretty confused right now. But anyways, thanks for watching, and with all that being said, it's been quite a journey making this from scratch, and I'd like to say thank you to that Fiverr man, and I did give him a 5-star review. I'll see all you guys in the next one, and goodbye.